Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Werewolf by Night, Blood Moon Rise. This is an issue number one, but we'll see where it goes from here. I'm not upset by this comic book at all. This was actually pretty good. And I'm glad this is coming about 3 months before Halloween because every year we'll get one Werewolf by Night comic book, and that's it. Halas, we're finished. Finito. Right? And that's unacceptable. This is what the Hulk was supposed to be, the monster that comes out to interfere with the plans of the bad guys. Now, there are two stories in here, and I'm going to put what I just said in relation to these two stories and see which one is better. But they're both pretty good, and I wouldn't be entirely upset with either of these going forward. But I don't think they should be in the same book. Anyway, whatever. Let's get talking about these book. These stories. First, we're talking about who made the book. Okay. So, Nail in the Coffin is the first story, the bigger story. Michael Giancino, probably butchered that. Sorry, Giancino. I'm Italian. I should be able to do this. David Messina, also an Italian. Um, Mattia Iacano. Interesting. Latino or Italian. Who cares? VC's Josebino. It's got to be Italian, right? Anyway, so these are people who worked on that one. And the second story was A Howling Nightmare by Jason Liu. He's a Torontonian. He did, I can't remember the name of the book. I have the first issue, The Fearless Lizard. Ah, for crying out loud, I can never remember what it's called. I I'm such a butthead for not looking this in advance. But anyway, he's a local legend here, and BC's Josephino did the letters here. Um, Tyler Kirkham and Arif Prianta did the cover, and there's two variant covers, and they're all beautiful covers. They are. Anyway, just Jason Liu, understand, is a local legend here, basically. Very young guy, but brilliant writer and artist for Toronto area. Everybody around here who is into comic books knows and loves Jason Liu. Just keep that in mind. And the idea of him getting his big break in Marvel, it's going to happen. We all knew it was going to happen. He's just got such a great breakdown of what a hero really is and what if a hero's powers aren't as perfect for where they live, right? It's one of those kind of things. But that being said, I'm glad to see Jason Liu in every single book that he's out in. He mentions in his story, this is the second story here, the Howling Nightmare. He says it's Jack Russell, the regular Werewolf by Night, and then there's also his sister Lisa, and then the other one that was created sometime like 2-3 years ago, something like that. Um, Famous artist died. Can't remember his name right now. I really should have considered looking this stuff up in advance. That's on me. But that being said, um, it's good to see this character back. I actually wasn't that interested in seeing him at first, but then when I saw what he looked like, what they're going to be doing with it, yes, more of this, please. I'm down with it. There was just a thing in there. I know what you did last summer. It's like, oh, come on, stop, stop. Just enough with that nonsense, all right? Anyway, this story was basically these three wolves forming a form of a wolf pack, which is cool because I know this was a reference back to Marvel graphic novel. I can't remember which one it was, but it's funny. I was just shuffling through them 2 days ago, and I saw my original first print edition of Marvel graphic novel number one. And I think there was a 12-issue limited series of the Wolf Pack uh, also, and it never really went far. It's a good story, but whatever. And if they want to rename this group the Wolf Pack, yeah, I'm down, and I'll read what Jason Liu's got to write and draw about it because this looks good. And they're fighting against Nightmare in this. Perfect, as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely perfect. The first story is Nail in the Coffin. And we got basically Dracula meeting the Werewolf by Night, the original one, Jack Russell, like a Jack Russell Terrier. Yes, they did that on purpose. And Jack Russell is quite literally dealing with the inner wolf that's terrifying him. It's leading to nightmares. Nightmare isn't in this one, but it's leading to his nightmares. And all of a sudden, we get a visit by another werewolf, and we get a visit by. I hate the idea of spoiling this, but there are a lot of people who absolutely love this character, the Man Thing, and yeah, this was good. This was really good. Both of these stories were fantastic. I enjoyed reading them both. Which one made more sense according to the character as he was originally derived? Which again is just what the original concept for the Hulk by Kirby and Lee was. This is a Jekyll and Hyde monster. Dr. Jekyll is Dr. Banner is just a guy who's trying to do good, and then all of a sudden the Hulk shows up and screws up his life. Maybe it makes whatever he was doing easier, maybe it makes it harder, but it's this constant struggle with his other side, his dark side, as you will. And they wind up doing something completely different with the Hulk. And I'm sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I love what Johnson is doing right now, Philip Kennedy Johnson. Dude is absolutely amazing, and he's bringing it more towards that idea. But the Werewolf by Night has to be that character. Has to be the one who tries to do good, or at least tries to leave. This is basically that Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno Hulk television series. And anybody my age has watched that, and everybody who has watched that knows that was the show. I remember one time I was living with my father at the time. My mother came up to visit us, and she said, it's funny, I was sitting down watching TV, and I was watching the show, and it was really, really good. And then all of a sudden the Hulk showed up. I was like, you were watching The Incredible Hulk? She's like, yeah. I still finished watching the show, and it wasn't quite as good because it was the Hulk, but it was a really good storyline, a really good plot, really good everything. And I'm like, yeah, because it's the best show on TV. It has been the best show on TV. This is not nostalgia, guys. Go back, look on YouTube, find some of these episodes, sit down, take an hour or whatever the show was, take the time to sit down and watch, and know that the Hulk usually shows up twice, right? Kind of to fix things, but kind of to make things bad also. And it was brilliant, brilliant. The movies are different. Don't watch the TV series. It's incredible. It's fantastic. Okay, it's really good. Doesn't have to be Incredible Hulk. Anyway, that's what this should be. This should be the Werewolf by Night. Should be every 30 days. I am going to, and in Marvel, there's the 3 nights of the full moon. It doesn't look like they're necessarily going to do that here, but however they're going to do it, the 1 night of the full moon is more than enough. Jack Russell can turn into a wolf man all the other nights, various degrees of power, very similar to the way that Moon Knight was originally done. Quick little cameo of Moon Knight in here with his original costume. Loved seeing that. But that's who he always was. And it messes things up. Helps out in the short run, screws things up in the long run, sets Jack Russell back. This first story was better than the second in that regard, according to that litmus-like test that I had set up, right? This was really good. And both of these stories, I would read both of these stories. They probably should be 2 different books, but I would get it if they just decide to make a 32-page book or a 28-page book every month. But this should be a monthly series. This should be a yearly, like a thing that just all year long it comes out. I'm telling you, guys, and I hope Marvel takes a look at this. I really do, and listens. None of their books are going to be what they want it to be. But what it is doing is it's making for a great story that can be told later. All of these incredible stories and the toys that it'll sell and the merchandise and everything. We could really look at what is being done with the Hulk right now and understand we could use a true monster that's completely out of control and not always doing the right thing. We could use something like that in Marvel right now. That adult comic, and label it adult. This comic book as it stands is not meant for kids. That we could really use an adult comic book like this. I don't need to see nudity and stuff like that. What I need to see is something where a man is really dealing with a sin. He's dealing with something that's just terrible inside, and it is him, but it's not him. And we could really use a mature, intelligent writer and a great artist who could pull an incredible story. And I think this is the team to actually do it. Both of these stories, this is the team to put that together. I really hope to see more of that. I really hope we get a yearly thing. Just put out the annual around Halloween. But I would love to see an actual full-time Werewolf by Night story. Guys, oh man. And I don't even need to see any other superheroes in it, ever, for the most part, ever. I just want to see this. I want to see these individual stories made in the vein of that Incredible Hulk television series. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. I'll talk to you later. Like the video, watch an ad, grab the comic book. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.